Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Sam.
Oh, hello. How are you, Sarah?
I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I'm convinced it's a Tuesday, and I nearly just spilled an entire tube of seed beads on my toast. So that's about how today's going. How are you?
I'm good. That is fantastic. Oh
What are
my
you
gosh.
having for breakfast?
What am I? Oh, yeah. So I'm having Jelly Bellies that are popcorn flavored. And then to get my little kick, I'm having my espresso flavored M&Ms. So I'm doing about as good as you are.
Happy start of Thanksgiving week, everyone. Maybe you all can relate.
Oh. Hi out there to everybody. Hi, Judy. Hi, Ruby. Colleen is here. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. So thank you guys for joining us on a Monday. Sam, you're going out of town tomorrow, aren't you?
Sure am.
Yeah.
A little road trip down to LA.
Oh, that's fun. That's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because Sam is going to be out of town tomorrow, we wanted to go ahead and do the live today because we're going through Sam's speed box for the month of November. We're going to create a fun little pair of earrings. I say little, they're not little earrings by any stretch of the imagination. These are big, fabulous Sara Lovecraft style earrings. But I mean, it can always be a pendant if you want it to be. The most important part, of course, is the beads. And then I do want to tell everybody, Hardwired, we had some questions about Hardwired last week. Hardwired is still going to meet this week, and we're actually going to stick to our Tuesday schedule. I was going to do it today and then very quickly realized that I didn't have a project that I was happy with yet. So Hardwired, we're still meeting tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time. But as far as like tomorrow's 1 o'clock live, that's happening right now. So no 1 o'clock live tomorrow. That's happening right now. Hardwired, same schedule. And I'll just see you guys there. So I think that's all the housekeeping I have. Sam, what is your housekeeping? Because your schedule is going to be a little bit different too, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the main adjustment is we're just doing our big sale today.
Yeah.
We always try to do this in the morning to get everyone like playing with the box and like kind of getting the vision of it. And then we do our bead box sale that evening. So tonight we're doing it tonight since Rachel and I are leaving at 6 a.m. for LA tomorrow. So
ew, 6 a.m.
Gotta beat that traffic, Sarah.
That's terrible.
I know, but then you get the whole day in LA. So there's a payoff.
That's true. I would be walking around LA like a zombie though, because 6 a.m. like
Oh yeah, it might be a little rough based on my sleep schedule. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the live's tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on actually these days this is interesting. Since we were last live together, we've now switched over more so going live to our app and our website because we had so many issues with Facebook. We just kind of decided like we are going live there, but like our main places we now go live is actually using the app. So if you don't have the Sam Speech Hub app yet, definitely download it and turn on the push notifications so you know that we are starting our live tonight because we got all the extras from our bead box and more. It's awesome.
That's exciting. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then you'll also have the app in time for all of the Black Friday sales that are coming up as well. So definitely it's worth having those notifications on because we'd like to do some really lovely deals. We already started some deals on Friday. We just put like a bunch of things 50% off to clear them out. So definitely check out the app for those deals and all the goodies.
Absolutely. I love the app. I didn't have it for the longest time. You kept getting on to me, but I love it for the reason, like you said, because the notifications are everything. Because it's hard enough for me to keep up with my own schedule. And I always want to be supportive of you and Danielle. And I want to be sure that like I'm giving everybody all of the time that I can. And I always forget. It's like, I know your schedule is always the same, but for whatever reason, I always seem to
There's
screw
a
up.
lot going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So the notifications are so, so helpful. Plus the fact that it's just really easy to just click away right there while you're on the app. And, you
Still
know,
gotta grab your pretties.
exactly.
Yeah, folks, the Facebook always felt a little clunky to us. So like
Yeah.
the app is just so much simpler. You don't have to type all the things, and you still get to chat with everyone, which is lovely. I'm so
Yeah.
glad I would not have switched over if they didn't have the chat box.
Right.
Because we are chatty people here. So we still have that, but then you don't have to worry about clicking all
Oh
the.
no.
What? What's going on? Was Sarah freezing? She said, "Oh no," and then now she's frozen. Sarah always comes back in about 5 seconds. But
I'm guessing you don't have these problems on the app either.
we have our own issues. Well, you said, "Oh no," and then so Sarah, why don't you start opening the box a bit, because I need to send my text out and I want folks to get to see that, and I totally forgot to tell my folks that we are live. So
yes. Let me go ahead and get us turned around and we will get started right away. All right, y'all. So Sam, I don't wanna make you double duty here, but you wanna give us a quick little.
let's multitask.
Let's multitask. Tell us about this box, and then I'll go through it. But definitely, like, what was your inspiration? The reason I ask is because I didn't get one of the cards because I got my box before everybody else did.
Oh yeah, you got your box before the card existed.
Yeah.
So our theme. Oh, that's so interesting. You haven't read the whole write-up then?
No.
Oh, that's actually. Oh wow. So our theme this month is quilting bee, like BEE.
Yeah.
Inspired by the like social gatherings that used to be much more commonplace of getting together and like potentially making a whole quilt in a day.
Oh, I love that.
Because the social community aspect has always been so important in the shop. So we did a whole box inspired by that, and then more specifically inspired by a patchwork quilt.
That is awesome, and it's absolutely beautiful. So that I love. I did not know that. Know that.
And in the inside, I included some like history about quilts themselves and talk about them like as family heirlooms that are shared within families, but then also as something that we share collectively.
Right.
Because so the one I talked about, the quilt that I mainly talked about in the insert was about the AIDS Memorial quilt that is now 50,000 panels large.
Wow.
As just like one of the largest community quilting projects ever. And like I heard about that so much growing up here in the Bay Area because it started in San Francisco.
Yeah.
But I don't know if folks know, there's also a COVID-19 memorial quilt that's started over the last year. That's starting to travel to museums. That's absolutely beautiful as well. In the same spirit of like honoring loved ones in a really joyful way that I find really moving, that like you're using color and like a craft that you love to honor someone. I think it's like so beautiful.
That is awesome.
So that's a little bit of the inspiration of this box. And so we kind of wanted to create our own patchwork quilt out of beads. And like I have this idea of this, that we're all going to kind of contribute in our own way to the quilt through what we make with this box.
That's beautiful. I love that. And this box is absolutely stunning. So that makes so much sense. I love it. So right off the bat, I usually kind of save my favorites for towards the end, but I pulled them out right away. So my favorites for this month are it's a really tough decision. Like I've got some others that are really high up on the list, but my favorites are these 20s Glam 10 millimeter fire polish. I adore those. And then coming in second is the little bag that had the hearts.
Look at these. We call them bead. They're a new shade. We call them beading hearts.
I love them. That might be my new favorite heart shape. Like I've not ever had any that are those that double like that. And it's funny because I use that heart emoji all the time. Like that's the heart that I use. So I
I
was
was gonna
like,
say, as someone who keeps their heart on their sleeve, that is the bead for you.
absolutely. And then these guys are stunning. Like I don't know what it is, but I'm obsessed with these.
It's that
These,
opal glass. It's something about that. At least for me, it's the opal glass. It's semi-transparent. Like
yeah,
they are.
gosh, they're so pretty. Yeah, you
I
can
just think
see
they're
the,
such a special bead. So we pretty
yeah,
the majority of the beads in this box, we custom designed the colors and finishes we wanted. So like all three of those beads you just pulled out were ones we got to custom design for the box.
they're stunning. I love them so, so, so much. But then there are other things in this box that I also just think are fabulous. So these kiwi ovals, I love a good kiwi bead. I think they are so much fun because they make a great um, accent to other things, but they're also a great standalone bead. It's one of those kind of, you know, a bead for every occasion. The shape and then that pattern on the inside of them, they can be a focal, but then they can be an accent. Just like I said, I just think that they're really cool. But I think the best part of them is the color. They really are just, sorry, y'all. Still trying to be gentle with my thumb. So
I hope that heals up soon.
I do too. I'm so over it. So over it.
Have you ever seen a pressed kiwi?
A pressed kiwi?
Well, sorry,
No.
let me ask that better. Have you ever? I typically see kiwi that are table cut, but have
Right.
you ever seen one that was just pressed?
I have not. I have not.
This one was a little experiment. We were curious what would it look like if we didn't table cut it. Because when you start table cutting things, it gets really expensive, and we don't want to just put
Right.
like 2 kiwis in a box. Like that's not that fun. So we experimented doing a pressed one, and actually I really like it because the finish, that bronze finish we picked, is covering the whole bead.
Yeah. I think
Whereas if
they're
we
beautiful.
table cut it, we would be cutting off like a bunch of that.
Yeah.
So I really like how these came out, and I want to get more of this
Yeah.
shape.
I think they're beautiful. They would make a really gorgeous bracelet. Like that's what they're telling me they want to be, which they
Hmm.
probably will be eventually.
I love that
Okay,
idea.
so some of my other favorite things. This whole box is just really gorgeous. It's hard to be like, oh, my favorite, but I love these. I can't help myself. I love them with every bit of my being. These grapes make me so ridiculously happy. I cannot even tell you. Look, we're going to use these in our earrings project. I love them so much. They're like the coolest dangle ever. Okay. They're just because it's a bead, but it could also be a charm. It makes a great. I think they're fabulous. That was a cool choice. Why the grapes? What made you think of the grapes?
So our initial idea for the box was like we liked the idea of like a harvest box,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do like your classic box. So we started with with one color. We chose burgundy
Yeah.
and plum, and that's where we got all these ideas of like, oh, we could actually make a whole palette or just around that side of harvest tones.
Right.
And so that's kind of where the grapes came in. And whereas obviously I don't know when grapes are harvested, but like it felt like it's part of the bounty
Yeah.
of a harvest box.
Well, I love that they still made it into the quilt box because I think they rock.
Well, it kind of works because the quilt, it's like quilts are very eclectic, and so like
Yeah.
it's like intentionally putting things that do not necessarily belong together next to each other and actually making them more beautiful by putting them together.
Right? Like hearts and grapes. It's fabulous. I love it.
This is exactly what we wanted. You get it. And you'll see hearts
These,
are definitely a theme in this box.
yeah, and these are absolutely beautiful. So these are hematite hearts with that rose gold plating on it, which you can't go wrong with rose gold. You just can't. You just can't. And then I love these. Love these hearts so much. These
Oh,
floral hearts.
oh yeah, you did tell me you like this style.
I do love them so much. I really, really do. They make the coolest like focal for an earring or a necklace. They're just so pretty. And I like it that they can go either way. So like if you put them on a bracelet, it's still obviously a heart with a beautiful flower on it. Or you can turn it this direction to make, a focal out of it and hang dangles from it, or hang it from the bottom of something that's already dangling. They're just beautiful. They're really, really pretty. And
We
sometimes
actually
they're hard to
designed.
find. So I was excited that these were included.
Yeah, we actually got to pick out these. We designed these 3 colors. So there's like a copper one, an orange luster, and then a more pink bronze luster in there.
Yeah. They're so pretty. They're so bright. Look how beautiful. I'm in love with all of the things.
Yay. Yeah, this was definitely a different box. It's always curious to see what people think of boxes that are like a little bit more, have a little bit more personality to them.
Yeah. These are stunning. And I've decided I'm no longer going to say I'm not a pink person, because I think what I've learned in the past year is that I absolutely am a pink person. And these are so, so pretty. I'm particular about my pink. These fall into the category of the pinks that I do love. So, and it's a druck, which is,
It is a druck. I feel like that helps.
You can't go wrong with a druck. Ever, ever, ever. Okay. So in the same pinks, we've got some rhodonite. These are gorgeous too. They're so pretty.
And they're faceted. I just love a faceted stone.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. I love these almost as much as I love the grapes, and that these are these leaves. It's the opal part that makes colors. I don't know what it does, but when you do the opal in pink, when you do pink opal, when you do purple opal, something about whatever it is that makes them fall into the category of opal makes it just so pretty to me. And you can't really tell with it sitting on my hand.
Well, it's a much more specialty glass type, because you typically see a lot of,
It's just so
like,
pretty.
clear glass, and you see some opaque glass. Opaque
Yeah.
glass is a little fancier, and opal glass is kind of up with the opaque glasses.
Yeah. It has like that kind of milky quality to it that I don't know, it really just changes colors. I think it makes colors that maybe people might struggle working with a little bit easier to use, because they're not so
Yeah.
in your face, It's
Mhm.
like it's a muted color, but it's still just gorgeous. Like, look at that with the light coming through that. It's so pretty. Has so much depth to the color itself. And it's not just like a Crayola purple. You know what I mean? It's like it's better than regular purple. That's all I can say. It's better than regular purple. Okay, so I'm gonna speed up a little bit here so we can get to the project too. So melons, these are gorgeous. I always love melons too.
So I don't know if you noticed, we did 2 colors of melons on this strand.
Yes, you did. And the smaller, the little BB ones, I'm using. So there's only like 3 left in the bag here. No, those are the English cup. My bad.
You're good.
Where are they at?
I don't think we had little melons. I think we just did little English.
Oh, okay. Well, they're the little baby English ones. There's 4 left. I'm going to use these in the project. So that's why this bag is no longer full, but you do get 50 of these. Just so you know, in lavender amethyst with that golden luster. So pretty. They're so pretty.
I'm obsessed with the tiny English cuts. I think they're everything.
I know I am too. They're fabulous. Okay, these are super cool too. These little pinch glass beads. I love these. Look how pretty. They are not nearly as pretty in my hand as they actually are.
Oh, these I'm like stupidly excited about. It's such a simple bead, but I think they're amazing.
They are, because they're purple, but they're also copper, and I don't
Yeah,
know.
so this one we did custom. We did like a lot of these things we did custom, which means like we're working with folks in the Czech Republic.
Pretty.
And pinch beads are just a great spacer.
Yeah.
And then, but like having that copper element just felt that made them feel really premium.
Yeah, I agree. They're very, very special. I like those a whole lot. Let's sit those right here. And then you've got a couple of flower elements in here that are really beautiful. So some check glass daisies. These are so pretty.
And this one's another new shape, and we just did a whole variety of colors. So everyone got 4 pairs, and everyone there's a lot of variety. So like Sarah's got 4 lovely pairs here. Your pairs you might have like a purple one. This was like a fun little grab bag mix because we still like the idea of doing mixes. We've just been figuring out how we want to do it.
Well, you did an awesome job with these because I have a hard time deciding which ones I like the best out of these.
And look at that. There's 4 pairs of earrings just from one baggie in your bead box.
Yep. Yeah, that's you guys, that's what makes this box such an amazing value because I mean, that's 4 pairs of earrings, even on just with ear wires and like a head pin, and you're done, right? But then you have all of this and we're still not even done. You can't I challenge you to find a better bargain anywhere when it comes to beads, especially curated, and then like the ones that you guys did yourselves, you know, the custom beads. You can't find that anywhere else. Like for this, you just can't. I'm just saying. These are beautiful.
This is like our only like more earthy tone we included.
It works so well though.
I think it's kind of needed just because there's a lot of brighter elements.
Yeah.
So just wanted something that felt a little bit more grounding.
Loved. And then these are so pretty too. I cannot open anything with this stupid band-aid on my finger. Look at the little flower bead caps.
Aren't those cute?
I love them so much. There's so much potential with these. So many different things you can do with these. Because you don't just have to use them as a bead cap. Like you can use them this direction, right? And you could pop like a little seed bead in the center if you wanted to, or just a head pin, you know, if you wanted to. You can layer these up on other things. I think that they're
you're so good at layering those types of beads.
Yeah, I think they're
that's actually kind of one of the main reasons we added these to the box, because I was like, I bet Sarah would love like stacking these up on another bead.
Yes, they're just super cool. And yeah, like you said, you can stack them up and you can go both directions with them, which adds so much texture to a design. They're awesome. They're very, very pretty. Okay, so we've got a couple of other things here, and then we're going to get to the design. So one of my favorite things that you have included was also in a kit that we did together just a little while ago. And it was one of these sweet little birds.
Yes.
I love the birds. And it's a purple one with the copper wash, which I absolutely adore. So pretty. And then there is a dragonfly. They're so good. They're so good. We've got hearts and leaves and grapes and dragonflies and birds and flowers, like it. And like you said, like in any other circumstance, that might not make any sense, but it worked so well.
I feel like you're totally getting it. Yay.
Yeah, I definitely get it. Like because that's what a quilt is all about. It's like these homespun little elements of things. Like each little square might have some sort of special meaning to it. You know what I mean? And so I could definitely see how all of this kind of tells a story, just like the quilt would tell the story. You know, I love it. Love it.
I hope I don't make people sad by saying this, because when we make these boxes, we have to make a lot of tough calls, which maybe Sarah and I will talk about in a second about in another context. So with this box, we had just like, we're finding all the elements. Oh, here's another one. This is our carnelian pendant.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So some of the other animals we had picked out as potentials, we found a cat and a dog, not together, but like we had picked out one cat and one dog. But for whatever reason, it just like didn't feel like it fit for this box. We're absolutely gonna have to use them in a future box.
Yeah.
Because they were so cute. But like it was that sort of like mix that we really wanted.
Yeah.
All your favorite things, why not put them together?
Exactly. And look at the birds. The tiny birds make me incredibly happy. Like, you just don't even know. I need like every tiny bird
In all the
from
finishes.
TerraCast in all the finishes. Yes, they're so cool. They're so cool. And I could already think of like a million things I could do with them. And then this is stunning as well. And part of the reason that I love this, other than the fact that it is just beautiful with that bird on it, is that it has 2 holes.
And look how the bird stands on it when you flip it over.
Oh my gosh. I love look at him. He's sitting like that, or he can be sitting like this. I love him. So yeah. Okay. Those are super special. And
Yeah.
they're TerraCast, which makes them amazing. Of
This
course.
is also like definitely a reason why to come to the bead box sale. Rachel usually grabs the metals and other finishes.
Yeah.
So folks, definitely come to the sale tonight if you like some of the beads in the box.
So then these are the last little ones to show you. And there are some of these that are missing as well, because we're going to use some of these in our quick little earrings project as well. But I love these. I think this shape is really, really special. They make a really cool little spacer, which is kind of the way that we're going to use them. But if you were going to make like a, if you've got somebody in your life that's a minimalist when it comes to jewelry, they don't have to just be a spacer, right? You can stack all of these up together and make a really beautiful bracelet out of them, you know, and it's just a thin kind of streamlined project that is still beautiful because the shape is there, the color is there, that luster makes them, you know, it gives them a little bit of sparkle and oomph all to themselves, even though, you know, maybe they would be a spacer in a big design. I think that this, even though they're small in stature, they definitely have like their own kind of standalone quality to them. Yeah.
It's also nice to find like more options for smaller beads, because we use a lot of the same types of smaller beads, I think, in when we design.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Here's just another option like in your toolkit.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt that they're absolutely beautiful. I really love that shape. They're just really special. Those just a really special choice for this box. You guys nailed it, as you always do. Look at all the yummies here. Like, whoa, that's a lot. And I have beads pulled out of this to make earrings with. So like, that's still a ton left over. All right.
You can probably make like over a dozen pieces of jewelry from one box.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I can't get over this piece though. I love. Of course, I have that carnelian is like one of my favorite things in the whole entire world anyway, but that's just beautiful.
And it's got a bigger hole, so you could like some Sara macrame could come out.
Oh my gosh, you are so yep. All right. I have so much inspiration. And now I'm like, well, now I'm just going to show you an earrings project, but there are so many other things I could do. All right, I'm going to move these things out of the way. As much as I want to play with all of those things, let me show you guys this earrings project. Now, again, you guys know my earrings projects are on the big side. You can always size this down, make your measurements a little bit smaller, okay? Or you can turn this into a pendant. It doesn't have to be these great, big, huge, chunky monkey earrings, but I do love a big earring.
Ooh.
So yeah, we haven't made a pair of big earrings in a while. So I was like, it's long overdue. And these beads are so fun. I just can't help myself. These are going to be my Thanksgiving Day earrings, actually.
They're so perfect. It's those like plum purple tones. It totally works.
I know. And you know, my design, I must have that purple thing going on. Because remember my design on Friday, I pulled all the purple out of the challenge box and used all the purples. I must have purple on the brain. So we're using all of the little English cut. We're using some of the spacers. We're using the grapes and the leaves, which are some of my very favorite elements from the box. And as far as wire is concerned, we're going to be using some 18 gauge wire and some 24 gauge wire. So there's not a whole lot of materials and they're still beady and wonderful, but we're using that open space as well as part of the design. So it makes it just got lots of beads going on, but there is still a lot of open airiness to this, which makes these not super heavy.
And I see I feel like we're about to learn a bunch of technique right now too.
There is some good technique here. Yeah, there's definitely some good technique here as far as like creating the component is concerned, and then the wire wrapping, which is a little different than what I have done in a while with adding beads to a component, because normally I would just like wire wrap them to it. You absolutely can do that, but these are actually kind of sitting on the outer edges and only wire wrapped in a couple of places. So I was hoping to kind of just like inspire you differently with some wire wrapping. So the first thing we're going to start out with is our component. We're going to start out with 5 inches of 18 gauge German style wire, and we're going to create this kind of teardrop shaped component. We're going to be using our small bell making pliers and our artistic wire mandrel tool. You don't have those, just find something around that you can use. You can use your round nose pliers for this part, and then just find something that you've got laying around your desk, or maybe like a prescription bottle. I know a lot of people keep their seed beads in those. So if you've got one of those, that's going to work as well to kind of create this shape. So you don't have to have these specific tools to do these things. But we're going to start out, like I said, with about 5 inches of the 18 gauge wire. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the loops on the ends. So I'm going to use my small bell making pliers. I'm going to grab the wire right at the end, and I'm going to turn a loop. Okay. So, and I'm not gonna straighten the wire. I'm gonna leave it just like it is. So it's like a little P here, and we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side with that loop facing or coming towards the loop we just created.
I'm always so curious how you form all your, because you have about 7 million elements you've made over the years.
I kind of have a thing for wire components.
And like, I'm always so curious how each one it's a little bit different of how it comes together.
Yeah. Yeah. So these, we're going to use the, like I said, the artistic wire mandrel tool. And if you're going to do a smaller component, which you absolutely can, you just want to cut your wire length down, right? So if you wanted to do one that's going to be a little bit smaller in size, as far as like the curvature of this is concerned, you're probably going to only need like maybe 3 inches of wire. And then you can pick the curve in like this area here. Whereas the full 5 inches is going to give you, you're going to be able to use the biggest parts of the mandrel. You can even use the handle part of the tool, which I'm probably going to use right now here in just a second, because it works.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to place it on there in the middle with my thumb. And then I'm just going to kind of guide the wire right into that shape.
Sarah, and this is very good timing also, because we just got that in stock, that set of tools, which everyone, I feel like, is a required tool because it doesn't really cost anything. You get 4 tools for like $8.
Yeah, and I did the math one time as to how many shapes, like the number of total shapes you could get. I can't even remember what it was, but it was incredible. Like the amount. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12
times 4, 48. That's a lot.
Yeah, plus the handle, plus the square, right? The large square. So I mean,
you get 50 mandrel settings.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, especially when you think about like how much the tool costs. It's like, wow.
I love that. That's as someone who likes a value, that is a great point.
All right, so my loops are facing outwards, and that's fine. If you can technically make your loops face however you want them to, but I want mine to be facing towards the back. However, before I do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this on the block now so that it's nice and flat, and I'm going to work harden it just a little bit. So I'm putting this on the block. I'm going to use my nylon hammer, and I just want a little extra insurance to keep this shape. Flip it over and do the same thing on the back. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pliers, and I am very gently going to grab that loop, and I'm going to just make just a twist. And I'm going to twist it so that the loop is facing towards the back, so that when you're looking at the component from the front, you don't see that loop at all. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. I'm just going to twist. Okay. And now you've got your component. And of course you can, you can wiggle it around and make it the exact same or the exact shape that you want it to be. The mandrel tool is just a good guide to get it going, right? Okay, so this is what we're starting with as far as our component is concerned. And now we're going to go ahead and wire wrap some beads to this. And we're going to use some 24 gauge wire to do that. So we're going to start at the top and work our way around. I will tell you though, originally, I actually started in the center. So it's kind of up to you as to where you want to start your wire wrapping. The reason that I started in the center was because I didn't know how many beads it was going to take, and I didn't know how much wire it was going to take. But I've already done all of that for you now. So you don't have to start in the middle if you don't want to. You can start up here on the edge. So we're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the English cut check glass going down the side. We're going to use some 24 gauge wire for that. You're probably only going to need about 12 inches. I've cut, I think 16 inches just to be on the safe side because I can't really remember, but honestly, it's not even going to take that much. But 24 gauge wire is what I'm using. You absolutely can use smaller, and you can use 22 gauge wire if you want to. You just want to be careful. I didn't try it. I don't know that the English cut will fit onto the 22 gauge wire, but I think they will. But you just want to try it before you commit, right?
Most of those beads should fit just
fine.
I
think they will. So I'm going to start on the left. You can start on the right. It makes no difference. I just have a tendency to start on the left. I'm going to take my 24 gauge wire, I'm laying it across the top of the component here, and I'm going to wire wrap about 5 times, 4 or 5 times. And I'm starting down here. I'm actually going to be able to slide this up here in just a minute. So it doesn't matter where you start your wire wrapping. And
the part that I have the hardest time with is just starting the wire wraps, getting this part going.
Yeah. Well, and I'm having to rely so heavily on my tools with my injured finger. It's ridiculous. So my wire wrapping at the moment feels a little wonky because I'm used to doing it with my hands and getting it really tight. I feel like I don't have nearly as much control when I use my tools, but making it work here. All right, so I can get it cleaned up. You can see how that where I very first hooked the wire to the components kind of far away from the rest of the wire wraps. Just use your pliers to squeeze those together. Okay, and based on however you started your wire, mine is coming from the back, and that's fine. It can be coming from the back or it can be coming over the top. It makes no difference. The most important part of all of this is that you want to be sure that you are always following the natural path of the wire. So this is coming from the back. So that means that the next wire wrap, even though there's going to be 11 beads in between it before we wrap again, that wire wrap is still going to go in the same direction that it was originally going. Okay. So we're going to take our beads here and we're going to thread on to the end of our wire 11 of those little English cut. There's 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, so we're going to drop these down and we're going to very gently guide these down the edge of the component. And we want them to be as close as we can get them to that outer edge of our component, right? And then to attach these Again, following that natural path of the wire. Now listen, when you do this, if your beads tend to kind of bunch up like that, that's okay, because we can still slide the wire wraps down afterwards. So it's okay if it doesn't stay exactly where you want it to right off the bat. It's okay. We can still put it where we want it. So I'm going to do about 4 wraps. And then just kind of pushing with my fingers, I can really kind of wiggle this around and get it all evenly spaced. Okay. All right.
So lovely.
Yep. And now we're going to do our bottom section. So our bottom section is some of those really cool shaped spacers. We're going to do 2 of the purple, 1 of the pink, 2 more of the purple, and then a leaf. And then we're just going to repeat that. So
wait,
same.
What color?
Wait, the purple? What did I say? Did I say something wrong?
Wait, what color is that?
It's purple.
No, the middle color.
The middle one? This one?
No, the other one.
This one? Did I call it pink? I don't know. It's orange. What? It's copper. What color is that, Sam? What did I say? I don't even know what I said.
You said pink, and I was just like, wait.
That's not pink. I'm sorry. That's not pink. I don't know. Don't listen to me. It's Monday. Come on now.
No, I'm giving you too hard of a time. I was just checking.
They're not pink. They're orange pink. I mean, they're like peachy colored.
Okay, I see that.
They're not pink. Giving me a hard time. I see how you are.
I seem to be on a cold streak this morning.
All right, we're going to thread on 1 of the check glass leaves and then 2 more of the purple. Then the orange.
I'm never going to live that one down.
2 more of the purple. That's funny.
Juana's going to be like, Sam, are we going to talk about color pronunciation now? Because you're not going to win.
All right, so same thing. When we get all of those beads on, we're going to kind of zhuzh them, if you will, to the curvature of the component, but it doesn't have to be perfect just yet. You, more importantly, just want to be sure that you wire wrap and that there are no spaces in between your beads, no big open spaces, right? So we're going to wire wrap. Okay. And then these are not going to sit as close just because of the shapes of the beads, and like these 2 on the edges, they're really going to kind of keep the rest of them from sitting super close to the component, but that's okay because I kind of like the way that it looks. So I'm not mad about the fact that these are not as close as these are, right? It's cool because it's on the bottom. All right, then we're going to do another 11 of the English cut.
It kind of reminds me of your draping style that you do on your necklaces.
Yeah. Albert is breathing very heavily over here in the corner. Why are you breathing so heavy?
He's just happy next to Mama.
He is a mess. He's a funny dog, that's for sure.
Oh gosh, there was a golden at the shelter yesterday.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh, hello, we're going home.
Yes. It's crazy that there would be one at the shelter. Like I
don't usually see any.
Yeah, that's a hard dog to come by in a shelter situation because their temperament is so good. You know, most people, when they get them, they don't want to get rid of them. Yeah, for any reason.
It's extraneous circumstances. And I just saw that dog and I was like, oh my God, you're precious.
Mm-hmm. Mine's precious. He's just afraid of everything. Absolutely everything. Because my friend JoJo's foot is broken, and so he's on crutches, and my dog Albert is terrified of the crutches. Like it's really bad. Like if the crutches are just like leaning up against the wall, he won't go anywhere near where they are. It's awful. He thinks they're going to come to life and like attack him or something. I don't know. It's so silly. All right. So I wire wrapped those, and you can see we've got all of our beads here attached, and I can still kind of wiggle them a little bit to really get them where I want them to go. But that's basically it. But now listen.
We're listening.
This doesn't have to be the end of this, right? If you wanted to go the next step, because this is actually the first step in a different technique where you would do the exact same thing, but then your wire would be probably double or triple the length than you started. And you would take the wire, and I'm just going to kind of show you and then I'm going to undo it. You would turn back around with your wire after you wire wrapped it to secure it, right? And then you would go back the other direction, and you would actually wire wrap around the component and around each bead. You see, like that? And we've actually done that before, and I love the way that looks. And you can go all the way around doing that, and then you can turn around and come back, and it makes like these little cool chevron shapes with your wire. But it also looks cool without it. And so that's why I didn't do it this time around. I was like, you know what? I just kind of like it without it. It's something that we haven't done in a really long time. And I felt like with these beads in particular, I just wanted the beads to be the star because they are smaller beads, right? And sometimes when you do the wire wrapping like that, it might take away from the bead, right? And it makes the wire more the focal, and the bead kind of gets lost. So I really wanted the beads to continue to be the star of these earrings. So, all right. Now the next little thing we're going to do is just a little briolette wire wrapping here because of the way that our grapes are drilled. And then I'm just going to stack some beads up, do a little wire wrapping, and then we're going to put it all together with a jump ring and the ear wire. So it all comes together really, really nicely. Not lots of extra hardware. So for 2 pairs of earrings, you just need 2 jump rings and 2 ear wires, and you're good to go. So we're going to take another little piece of 24 gauge wire. You just need a couple inches. 4 inches should be plenty. And we're going to take one of the grapes, and we're going to thread that on. And we're going to wire wrap. Now, I'm not dropping it to the center. I've got one piece of wire that's a little bit shorter, one piece that's a little bit longer. Take those 2 pieces, and we're just going to crisscross those over the top of where the bead is drilled. And I'm going to come in with my bent chain nose pliers to hold on. I'm going to bend the shorter wire outwards and the longer wire straight up and down. And then I'm going to wire wrap with that shorter wire about 3 times or 4 times or whatever. It's totally up to you. Okay. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. Okay. And so now we're ready to go. It's all wrapped, and it's not going to come off or anything at all. And we're just going to stack up. We're going to do one of the orange, one of the English cut, and one of the orange. So we're making kind of like a little sandwich out of our beads there. Delicious. And then I'm going to do a wire wrapped loop just to secure. I'm going to bend the wire over the top of the pliers. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers. Going up and over.
What happens if you don't change hands right now? Like, can you do it?
If I don't change hands, I can't even make my brain do it, much less my hands. I don't even know where to. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's the weirdest feeling thing in the entire world. What is happening right now? Not only is it weird, but I have to go really slow because apparently my left hand is not as fast. Wow, I did it though. Look, I did it. Okay, that's just crazy talk. I can't. I just can't with that. But yeah, so that's what happens. It can be done. You do it every time. I don't know how. It would take me forever to get anything done. because I'd have to go so slow. But I did it, and it actually looks good. So I mean,
That was
it
pretty
wasn't
good
bad.
for first go.
Yeah.
I,
Huh.
I
Who knew?
I asked you to do that for this
Wanda.
comment.
So funny.
Mwahahaha.
All right. So now the only thing left to do is just to connect all of this together. And we're just going to do that with the jump ring. So I'm going to open up my jump ring. I'm going to thread that through one of the loops. I'm going to thread on my dangle. Oh, I want my fire polish or that AB finish to be showing. And then through the other side. And then last but not least, I'm going to put my ear wire on, and I'm going to close these jump ring, or this jump ring, not these, this jump ring. And it's done. And you can kind of coax it into a different shape if you want it to be. Again, it's just wire, so you really can kind of manipulate it if you want more of a, you know, a narrow tear shape, or if you want it to be a little bit wider. But there you go.
It's so pretty. I bet you didn't imagine I'd be sending you a bunch of grapes.
Not at all, but I love them so much. So like I think it's fabulous.
I love that you
And
put
they're
them front and
harvesty.
center.
It's like it is exactly what you originally were thinking about your box, right? Like it is harvest, but it's non-traditional harvest. Because purple might not necessarily be a harvest color that anybody would pick, but I definitely kind of am drawn to, obviously, this purple color this time of year. I don't really know why. But I see it, right? The grapes and the leaves and the vines with all of this. I mean, it just, and it would work in a quilt as well. So well done, you. Look at what I made. Thanks to you.
These are lovely. It's amazing what you can do with a spool of German style wire.
Yeah. Yeah. And look at this comment. This makes me so happy. Oh, wait, not that one. This one. Sarah has me hooked on all things dangly. Yes. My work here is done. I love all things that are dangly. Yes, I do. When it comes to jewelry, and last night, Sam, we put up our Christmas tree last night. I'm going to turn my camera around so I can show you what these earrings look like. I always put my Christmas trees up the week before Thanksgiving. And that's new to Q because he's like, it's not even December yet. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I have like the longest amount of time I can look at my Christmas tree, the better. And then I had to explain how it is jewelry for Christmas trees. Like it's jewelry for trees. And he was like, totally makes sense why you love Christmas trees now. Like, I know if I could put lights on my jewelry, that would, like, if I had lights, sparkly lights, I would be a Christmas, like, okay.
You're saying if you could be a Christmas tree, you would.
Yeah, I so would be a Christmas tree. But yeah, so
we need to find Q a Christmas tree costume.
But all the dangles on Christmas trees, like, it's dangly jewelry for Christmas. It's
fun making icicles. Like, I love making beaded icicles.
Yes.
I don't know if you're looking for project inspiration for December, but like, I think you've made lots of icicles in the past, right?
Yes, and they're so easy and so beautiful and so sparkly and dangly. It checks all the boxes. You can wear them on your ears. You can put them on the tree. I don't know.
No, I often will use earring hooks when I make the icicles.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to pay.
That's brilliant. I love it. I love it. So here are our earrings. Now, again, I know they're big. It's a big old pair of earrings. But guys, they don't have to be. You can make them smaller, use less beads, use less wire, or you can hang this, right, from a necklace. You could do a really long beaded something and let this be the drop on a really cool necklace. I think it would be awesome. So, and you're not missing any bead. Like, you've got all the beads in the world here in the bead box to do that if you wanted to bead a whole necklace and let this be the focal. So yeah, but they do make really big, but they're so cool. I just love big earrings. I can't help myself. They're awesome.
know.
So yeah, these are my Thanksgiving earrings.
They look so cute.
I love them. Love them, love them, love them. It's all about those grapes. I don't know. It's just goodness.
Those are fabulous.
So
For our next live, you have to bring your Snuggie.
I will. My Snuggie's in the other room. I really like yours better, though. Yours looks more petable than mine.
Mine was the off-brand one from Amazon.
Yours looks more like fake fur. Mine looks like a Muppet. Right?
I love yours. Yours is the reason I wanted to get one in the first place. They're so cozy.
I know. Look, I'm so jealous right now. I want my.
I'm so happy.
It's the best way to be because it's not a jacket, but it's not a blanket. You still have your hands. You can cover up your head. It's wonderful.
We all need our beading Snuggies.
We do.
Sarah and I will do a live by the end of the year in our Snuggies.
Yes, we will.
With like a fireplace in the background.
Well, I said Sam looks like he's ensconced in velvet.
I should be.
Right? I love it. I love it. Oh, this was always, as always, so much fun, Sam. I always love getting to go through the bead box and show it to everybody and then play with it. Like, this is one of my favorite things we do every month. So thanks.
Me too,
Thanks
Sarah.
for coming and letting me do this. And thank you all for joining us and hanging out with us while we did it. It's always a good time for sure.
And how do you keep on schedule? It's like on the hour.
I don't even know. It just, like, I guess my internal clock just kind of knows that it's time to be done.
Sarah's very good at her schedule. I admire that about you.
I try. I don't know that I am always good at it, but I try.
Do you have are you taking time off this week for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, and I'm a little stressed. I'm a little stressed out, okay? So tomorrow, 5 p.m., that'll be our Hardwired project, and then I'm done for the week. There are no more lives for me for the rest of the week. Q's mom and his brother are coming to stay with us they'll be here on Wednesday, and I think they're staying until Saturday. And like, I'm like, I even have chill bumps right now. Like, just thinking about all of the things that I have to do and like get my house all perfect, and like I have to like cook something and it be edible, and
you'll be fine.
I'm a little nervous.
Just cook all together.
I'm so scared because like it's one thing to like meet his mom, which I've already done. It's a whole other thing to like cook Thanksgiving dinner for her. Like, the amount of stress there is like way up here.
I hope you. Is she a cook?
Yeah, and she's actually doing. She sent us the menu, and she was like, "This is what we're having. Pick what you want to make." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
No pressure.
So she's bringing and then doing some of the cooking here, and I'm just like, what if she doesn't like my kitchen? What if I don't know. What if my refrigerator's too small and my oven is not good enough for her? Like, I'm scared. I'm so scared. But I mean, it has to happen, right? I mean, I can't.
It's the first one.
Yeah. And that's why it was really important to me yesterday to get the Christmas tree up and everything, because I want it to be homey and welcoming for her. And tonight, when Q gets home from work, he and my daughter are putting Christmas lights up outside, and like, yeah. So
that's so cute. Oh, well, I'm sure it's going to go wonderfully. I hope your first Thanksgiving all together is just lovely, and
I hope
all the new traditions together.
Yeah, I'm scared, but I mean, I know that like it's the anticipation is always worse than like the actual. Like, once she gets here, I'll be fine. But it's like until she gets here.
Even if you drop the turkey, that's a great story.
Oh my gosh. Real quick, let me tell you about a turkey incident that happened to me. And it involved a golden retriever, okay? Not my golden retriever.
Oh no.
When I was a kid, okay, my grandparents lived in this neighborhood, and like they always just kept like their garage door open because my grandpa was always like in and out of his garage all the time, like always. So the garage door was always open. They had like this big chest freezer that was in there. My grandmother had made this turkey, and like my family back then was huge. Like there was a ton of us. So this was a monster sized turkey. Okay. She cooked the turkey, and then in order to get it to cool down, because we were like in a hurry, she took it and she put it on the chest freezer in the garage. And it sits in the very, very back of the garage, right? We're sitting, my mom and I and some of my aunts and cousins, we're sitting on the front porch. Okay. And the garage is over here. We're sitting on the front porch, right? And we're just sitting talking and everything. And all of a sudden we see this golden retriever go by, and he has this turkey in his mouth, like a huge turkey. And we're like, oh, look at that golden retriever. He stole somebody's turkey. It was ours. He had our turkey. It went into the garage. That year we did not have a turkey for Thanksgiving. I think we ended up having spaghetti, and then like, yeah. But yeah, we were laughing. We were like, oh my gosh, look at that. It was our turkey. Yeah. Yep. Oh, good story. Good story.
The famous story of my family is always about this chocolate pudding that so there's like, my grandma's notorious for like being like a health foodie, like before it was like popular.
Yeah.
So there's this video of her like introducing the pies of that year's Thanksgiving. Like, this is the pumpkin pie. This one's dairy free, sugar free, and then this is the blueberry pie. This one is that, and she goes through every pie and everything about him, and just like the whole time everyone's just like cracking up in the room, like just thinking she's ridiculous. Like, no one wants to eat that, because this is back before people had figured out how to make these things taste good. So you knew they're all going to be terrible,
right?
And so like, I grew up watching this video, and then one year she decides that she's going to make chocolate pudding. And so she starts making it like 2 days ahead for, I do not know what reason. And she has us try it, and we're all like, and we try it, and it's like horrible. Like, what? And she's like, okay, I'll work out a little bit. And then she adds like more orange juice, maybe more avocado. And it, like, just by the day, it just gets worse.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Chocolate pudding cannot be resurrected. And she's so convinced that she can make it work. And so and that became the joke of that year, that we just could not stop laughing about that pudding. So now I'm on pudding. Last year I did the chocolate pudding, and I'm doing it again this year, because mine tastes really good.
Awesome. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, nothing will beat a dog stealing our turkey from the on top of the freezer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I will never in my entire life ever forget that, ever. And it was a huge turkey too. And he was just like trotting off like he had won the prize for Thanksgiving. He was definitely going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner. We, however, were not. But I mean,
that is too funny. All right, I have to hop off and go prep for today's sale. So I hope I get to see some of you later today on the app or on the website. We're gonna go have lots of shenanigans today. I'm already like super prepped like for today, which is strange for me. So maybe we'll get to have some extra fun today because we have some extra time. So definitely come swing by today. Don't forget to send Sarah all the love. She's got the super chats on YouTube and her tip jar. So it's a great way to support Sarah. And of course, thank you, Sarah, for unboxing the box. And I love working that we get to collaborate and
yes.
So folks don't know, we haven't talked about this a lot yet, but like Sarah's is now an official designer for the shop for like a couple months now. And so that's why we've gotten to do so many more cool things together.
Yes. And it's been so much fun.
And it's already been great. We've done multiple kits. If you haven't seen the Lariat kits, definitely check those out.
Yes.
Check out the class. And then I think we have all three, at least some of each available on the website. So just like go check out all the things. Sarah has dozens of kits in her Etsy shop that are like really great gifts as well
Yes,
around this time of year, because Sarah's kits have every single thing in them, which is really like amazing. So if you're looking for some fun things like activities to do over the next like few weeks, this is like we've got some great ideas for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, just a quick reminder on my end for everybody. There are no more lives for me this week except for Hardwired. Hardwired, we will get together tomorrow, same time, same place at 5 p.m. for our weekly project. But there's no Feel Good Friday show this week. Everything else is like I'm done. I'm going to entertain Q's mom. I don't want to call her mother-in-law because like we're not that, but you know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like. It's like, so anyway, I will be gone for the rest of the week after Hardwired tomorrow. And Sam, you be safe traveling and have an amazing rest of your week.
Thank you.
And all of you, if you're not hardwired and I don't see you again, have an amazing, amazing rest of your week as well.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who are Thanksgiving turkeying it up, and may you also have some fun stories to share when you come back.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're also going to be posting the photos from the competition very soon. So
Yes.
that voting will happen on the Sam's Bead Shop Facebook page. So keep an eye out for that as well. Make sure you have liked and everything, and you'll get to vote very soon. Sarah will share the album too, so you can see all the finished designs. And
Yes. Absolutely.
all right.
All right, everybody. Thanks, guys. Bye.